County supervisors have approved a formal request for Sheriff Chris Nanos to talk with them about former Sheriff Sergeant Ricky Garcia. Garcia is set for trial in December, accused of sexually assaulting a deputy at a holiday party 2 years ago. But while the criminal case proceeds, the Sheriff's Department hadn't opened an internal investigation.
Pima County supervisors asked State Attorney General Chris Nanos for review, and the AG's office found PCSD may have violated its own policies. 13 News reporter Bud Foster is live at the county complex in downtown Tucson.
And Bud, the board is divided on how to handle this.
Well, yeah, Brooke, you're right. They are very, very split. It was a 3-2 vote today, which is about as close as you're going to get with a 5-member board. Now, they're not demanding that Nanos come and ask those questions about the Garcia case, nor are they compelling him to come forward. It was a polite request. They want to know why this internal investigation has not been completed as yet.
It's hard to put into words. I have 4 sisters. This kind of failure doesn't make any sense to me.
This kind of failure, according to Hines, is that it's been nearly 2 years since the alleged rape occurred, and yet there's been no formal internal investigation completed by the Pima County Sheriff's Department.
You would never see an 11-month delay at the University of Arizona, at Microsoft, at Raytheon, at TPD. Come on.
This difference, however, is policy. The Sheriff's Office has a policy as to when a probe will be conducted, and that policy says it won't investigate until the trial is over. But the long delay has some supervisors and members of the public questioning why, and want the sheriff to answer that question publicly.
I'm constantly getting questions and letters from constituents and from residents of Pima County. What's going on with the sheriffs? We haven't heard anything.
Although that's not quite right. The board asked the State Attorney General Chris Nanos to look into the matter. She found no criminal wrongdoing by the Sheriff's Department, but found it may have violated 4 policies. But it provided a strong argument for those who feel the case has not run its course.
This policy may have been violated. The Attorney General's office is not saying it was. And then it says the Attorney General's office noted their willingness to review the internal affairs investigation after it is completed by the Sheriff's Department, should the board continue to have concerns.
The concern and bigger issue raised by trying to force the sheriff to appear is whether an elected body can compel another elected official to answer its questions. There was some doubt about that.
I believe it's just, well, respectfully, we can ask for it and we can vote on it if you're comfortable doing it, but I mean, he's a duly elected person. Yeah.
They did vote on it 3-2 to formally request the sheriff to appear before the board to answer questions, although there was one more pertinent question that went unanswered.
I actually wanted to just ask, when this item was put on, was there a request made directly to the sheriff to come?
And the answer to that question, no. They put the item on the agenda, but they neglected to call the sheriff or notify the sheriff and ask him to come to the meeting to answer the questions. I talked to the sheriff after the meeting. He said he would have been there if the board had asked him to be there. Now that they've asked, he said he will show up. He will answer their questions. Whether they want to ask them in private or in public is their call. Downtown at the county complex, I'm Bud Foster, 13 News.